I'm Michelle Fields for PJTV, and I'm joined today by Raffi Williams, who's the Deputy Press Secretary at the Republican National Committee. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so tell me, what, if anything, is Congress going to accomplish between now that they've come back into session, to November election?
Well, there are two things here. So you have to separate the House from the Senate, obviously. And the House is really going to make their closing arguments. They're going to pass bills for energy independence. They're going to pass the CR to keep our government open. They're going to pass bills that restore the 40-hour work week and take away the attacks that Obamacare has done on our economy. And they're going to make sure that we're ready to go with our jobs bills and grow the country. Whereas the Senate's going to continue doing political stunts. You see Harry Reid's attacking the First Amendment this week, an attack that even takes down newspapers because it would make it illegal for newspapers to endorse candidates. You see Elizabeth Warren's trying her student bill stunt that even Paul Krugman, the liberal economist, has said is not a number one priority for youth, and it's not something we should be focused on. We should be focusing on moving the economy and getting jobs going, which is exactly what the House is doing. So you really see one party, one branch is just doing complete stunts, and the other one's actually trying to get America moving again and making the closing arguments for why Republicans should be in charge of the Senate come next cycle.
And the November elections are sneaking up. What are some of the issues that people care about the most right now? Is it immigration? Is it Obamacare? I mean, we really haven't heard much about Obamacare lately. What is
Obamacare is still a big issue. You look at Virginia, for instance, 250,000 health plans were just lost because of Obamacare. The House is still focusing on it. They'll be passing a bill that will say you get to, if you like your plan, you can keep it. The same promise Obama's made time and time again. They're going to make him stay true to his promise. So Obamacare is still going to be an issue. But the big issues right now are jobs, the economy, the border crisis, and you're going to see foreign policy playing a huge role. There are articles coming out just recently about how foreign policy is really an attack issue that Republicans are on the advantage of. We have a 23-point advantage over Democrats when they say who can keep America safest. And so that's something that's going to be big and come up time and time again, especially with great candidates like Tom Cotton and Joni Ernst who have a strong military background.
There's a new poll out from NBC that says that Americans today feel less safe than they did pre-9/11. They're scared about what's going on in the world. Is that going to play a big part come November? Do you think that's going to energize people to go to the polls? Or do you think it's going to be usually the same people who go and vote in midterm elections, which isn't that many people?
I think you're going to see people energized by this fear because what's happening is they're seeing the feckless leadership of Obama that's caused all these problems to exist. It's caused the rise of ISIS, the way we quickly ran out of Iraq, and the way he's looked all over the place when it comes to foreign policy with no true mandate and no direction in the world. I was reading an article today that said, had a foreign policy expert say, you know, America's still a world power. We're still the number one power in the world, but Obama's not acting like it. And I think that's really true.
So it's lack of leadership.
It's a lack of leadership at the top, and that's going to drive people to the polls because they don't want people who are just going to be rubber stamps for Obama. And you have to remember, the Democrats who are up this cycle, over 90% of the time, they voted with Obama, lock and step with him, and they become a rubber stamp for the Obama agenda, which is hurting America abroad and domestically.
Well, we'll keep our eye on that. Thank you so much for joining us today, Raffi.
Thank you so much.
For PJ